The most important quality in a drawing is the life it possesses, the energy it transmits. I would like to dive into some more structure right now. So these are my shapes based on understanding of storyboarding for a while, like drawing characters, and these are my shortcuts or shapes that I like to use personally. What I usually do is I draw my cross on the ground. So let's start with a female. Let's put her in a shape. Contrapposto is usually, you can start with the hips like so, and then the upper body like so, and then the head tilt is in the opposite. Let's try to find the energy like at first, but I want to make sure that first of all, like the hips and the shoulders, these are my landmarks in the sternum right here, and your eyes and your usses, like the ones that I will explain in a second. For hips and from both male and female, I basically think similar. Like a hip for me is in essence a box, and this box gives me a flexibility to turn it in space, so I know if I'm looking up at it, down at it very quickly. And in storyboards or in comics, that's very important because you gotta draw faster. But it's also an understanding. And I would draw an underwear in front, and on the top there would be the asses, and on the bottom there would be the eyes. It's spelled like these two eyes. And this is the anterior superior iliac spine, and this is the anterior inferior iliac spine. I would suggest a very deep dive anatomy, a Stan's anatomy course, or any Michael Hampton, for really knowing all the names, because I think it's important. I'll touch on some names and landmarks because I do use them, but these are really my shortcuts. These are a little bit stylized, and these are important landmarks for me. So I do use landmarks. I just try to go quickly about it. Same here, you have your sternum, and then the acromions are also quite important to me. And then you have the greater trochanter, which is a little bit lower there. Now for the energy, I know that there would be a lot here, so I'm gonna really push that hip. This would be the supporting one. So it would go as so. And here, you have your gracilis, and here you have your other leg working off of that. And you see that the shapes, I try to keep as gestural and rounded as possible. And again, like here, you draw shapes in one another. You have a ball here, the same here. Pushes out. Let's give her some high heels to really sell that. And let's make the cross a bit lower. Look at shapes by drawing them in one another. So here probably the gesture would dictate me, because here there's a lot of energy poking out here. And here I would have the bone here sort of dictate. And that's how the energy like changes here. And then we go up to the shoulders. And here, from the acromion, how they attach to your clavicle right here, I would draw the delts, the deltoids, and they attach right there. And this whole area would be in dark, because the form is turning away from us. And here it's better to not make a fuss about it, and really keep everything super simple. Same here, the female rib cage. Let's exaggerate this one a bit more because I want to have this energy going through. Let's just quickly turn this form a little bit more. The rib cages of a male and a female. A male is more like a Greek arch, if this were to be the pectorals. Here you have the trapezium, so it's more of an arch. And it's like the vacuum pose of, like, say for instance, Frank Zane, and that is in shadow. While a female ribcage is much more of an arrow pointing up, so it's more sharp.
Rembert's new Ultimate Sketching course is now on Proko. Learn how to sketch on location and bring a sense of story and life to your drawings. Go take a look at proko.com/Rembert. And during our Black Friday sale, you'll get 20% off any courses, brush packs, and everything on Proko. The sale is good through December 4th, so don't miss out.
The belly button. So if you want, actually, like this area, you could draw it, if the light is right, in darkness. So let's say the light is coming from slightly above for all the poses that I'm going to do. And here as well, like you draw shapes in one another. The quads are right here going to your asses, like they attach here. So if you were to draw the leg, it actually goes here, and the other one goes right here. So that's why that is so important. That's the gracilis right here, and the buttocks from the back right here. And these ones go to the greater trochanter, which is here. But as you can see, like from here, the abs and everything go from here, and the belly button. But you see how important that this structure is actually to figuring that out. From the back, the box would be then upwards. So this would be the box from the back. And it attaches right here the same. But then the buttocks, like the glutes, they actually hang lower, as you can see, and it continues going here. So from the back, it attaches like right here. And that's where the gesture then goes. And we can put this one in darkness, like a comic book would do, or fine art. It's not even a comic book thing. To the shoulders. And I would draw the head in the opposite direction, like move the shoulders a little bit more up. And you have your triceps there, and then the shape for the arm. And the breasts, they usually go a little bit like so, and they cast a shadow. So what I usually do is, like this part is in shadow, and then the head we can tilt, and then the ears low because it's probably looking a little bit down at us. And we're gonna go into faces later. This is just about the body, so feel free to just focus. This is just out of imagination how I would approach this. It's like I would probably push that leg a little bit back into darkness. And you can use sometimes the shapes of anatomy to also get shadows going. So let's just make the face dark as is right now. And for the ground, I always like adding a simplified shadow that really like can anchor it to the ground. And again, like draw shapes in one another. What I mean with that is like, see how I drew that leg. Actually, this could be a little bit more outside so that it hits here. How I drew that leg is like, see how I draw these shapes in one another so it creates that circle, but that circle created itself. Same for the heels. If you draw these in one another, then you get for free the patella and the entire knee and such. Same for arms. Let's draw that arm again because it's kind of a scuffed. Like here, how you draw that in one another. And things create itself. So to draw that one from behind, so we just have to reverse the shift here of the tilt. Like I'm always sort of feeling it out. That one's going that way, so that means this one is going that way, the gesture. Let's see how I already get this contrapposto reading. And these ones attach from the back to the spine of the scapula, which is a triangle shape right here. The glute is pressed, and here the energy is escaping. So again, from the back. So here you have a slight tilt in the opposite direction. Always draw shapes in one another. Like I just did one here. Here are the eggs. And then the head is tilted in the other direction. It's very important to get that nice contrapposto. Like I'm kind of exaggerating it a little, but it's probably better to overdo it than to downplay it for educational purposes. I would put that one into darkness so that the other one can come forward. And here is the feet, and here you have your atlas, and here you have your axis. I'll do that one again.
If you want more from his ultimate sketching course, go to proko.com/Rembert. If you've seen his work storyboarding for Riot Games and you want to know more about his sketching process, go check it out. And during our Black Friday sale, you'll get 20% off any courses, brush packs, and everything on Proko. The sale is good through December 4th, so don't miss out.